What's up guys, and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to cover my Season 7 Blood Bone Spear build. This build can easily handle everything in the game, and I have pushed up to Pit tier 120 current. And I would say I could probably go somewhere between 125 and 130 with the right gear and masterworks. This is a great all-around build for bossing and farming. Not to mention it has a 50k health pool, making it practically unkillable. All of our damage comes from overpower hits inside of Bone Prison, thanks to an aspect. Also, Bone Spear now has a blood skill tag, thanks to our unique pants. In this guide, we will cover everything, and timestamps will be down below. At the end of the video, there will be a portion of the Pit tier 120 gameplay, so be sure to stick around if you want to check that out. If you guys end up enjoying the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content just like this. Anyways, let's get right into it. Starting off with the skills used in the build, right here up top we have Reap. We don't actually use this, but it is a darkness skill. And in our skill tree, you'll see that with every darkness skill we have on our action bar, we get damage and movement speed. Right here we have Bone Spear. This is obviously going to be our main damage dealer. It's going to be how we do all of our damage with overpowers. Right here we have Blight. We don't use Blight at all. Right here we have Bone Prison. This is going to be like the main way that we also do our damage. Because of our aspect, anytime that we hit enemies inside of Bone Prison, we overpower every time with Bone Spear. So, this is awesome. It makes enemies vulnerable, really good to have. Then we have Corpse Tendrils. We use this to group enemies up. Also, this is going to create blood orbs for us, and it slows enemies. So, and then with the blood orbs, you'll see in our Paragon board, we get damage right there. And then down here, we have Decrepify. Now, because of our runes, we're going to be casting this. We don't actually cast it ourselves. And then right here we have Soul Rift. This is going to be our ultimate skill. We get a ton of damage from this barrier generation. A lot of good stuff coming from Soul Rift right here. As for the Book of the Dead right here, we're going to go ahead and sacrifice the skirmishers for 18% crit chance. We do want to get our crit chance up to 100%, which we have with the build. So right here in our mages, we're going to go ahead and sacrifice the bone mages, getting a nice chunk of damage for our overpower. And then down here with the golem, we're going to sacrifice the iron golem, and we get a 62% multiplier to our critical strike damage. As for the witch powers, we're going to go ahead and use the cycle right here. It's going to be our unique power. We go with Force of Will, Aura of Siphoning, Hex of Shattering, Soul Harvest. And now into the gear, you will see that I have 3 Mythic Uniques, and then we have a bunch of regular Uniques. We only actually have 3 legendary items. Really quickly, you'll see with the stats right here, we have max resistances, we have almost 2k armor, so we're obviously way over capped on that. Really quickly though, as for the elixirs and incense that I use the Fortitude 2 right here, Soothing, Redamine Buzz, and Sage Whisper. And with this, you'll see in town we have 37k life. Actually in combat we have 50k life. As for the actual gear up top, we have the Deathless Visage. Now, obviously, try to get, the greater affixes anywhere that you can. When it comes to masterworking, you want to try to masterwork the ranks to Bone Spear on that. And then, this is just going to be a ton of damage for us overall. The runes right here, we have Igni Thal. And basically, this is going to give us 20% maximum life at all times. Anytime that you're in the pit or doing any content, you're going to get an extra 20% life. So that is one of the ways that we also boost up and have 50k life total. Right here, we're going to go Shroud of False Death. I mean, this is probably the strongest armor in the game. Overall, the +1 to all passive skills gives us a ton of damage. And then we have all stats, the maximum life. Everything's good for the build. If you can, try to get the greater affix on all stats or maximum life. The maximum life is going to help with our damage as well as the all stats. So, and then I would say with this, try to masterwork the maximum life. That's going to be your best bet when it comes to the Shroud of False Death. And then right here for the runes, we have Tam Wat. You see right there, invoke the Necromancer's Horrid Decrepify skill. Basically we get the Horrid, but we also get the other one that we're spec'd into in the tree that you'll see in a minute. So we get both out of that. Into the gloves, you want to go with maximum life, attack speed, and ranks to Bone Spear. Now you could get crit chance on your gloves if you needed it, but we have a lot of other ways that we're getting a lot of crit chance. So I would say optimally try to get what I have right here, and then also right here you want to go ahead and masterwork up the Bone Spear. For your tempers, you want to go with Corpse Tendril size and critical strike damage, just like I have right there. And this is going to be the only spot that we get Corpse Tendril size, so you definitely want to try to get that on your gloves and try to get the highest roll that you can. You see right here we have the Bone Dusters aspect. Now this is like the main aspect when it comes to the build. Bone Spear is guaranteed to overpower enemies within Bone Prison and deal up to 50% multiplicative increased damage. And we always have Bone Prison up and we're constantly using it, but we're just overpowering constantly. Right here we have Indira's Memory. You know, these are awesome pants for the build. We get overpower damage, damage reduction while injured, maximum life. Now when it comes to masterworking, you want to try to, I would say, hit the maximum life many times as you could. I mean, you could hit the Tides of Blood also, but I feel like you would probably get more out of the maximum life, so I hit that twice. And then right there, you're going to see for our build right there, Bone Spear is additionally a blood skill. It drains 10% maximum life each cast after hitting an enemy to consume a surrounding corpse and launch a new Bone Spear from it. Now, we have ways that we get that life back. As long as we're casting Bone Spears inside of our Bone Prison, you'll see right down here, Bone Spear deals 40% more overpower damage and restores 5% maximum life after overpowering. And then we have a lot of ways that we're boosting that 5% up. So we're constantly regenerating that 10% life. Down into the boots, you know, we have movement speed, Bone Prison cooldown, which is awesome for the build, obviously. And then ranks to bone skills. I would say you want to try and level up the ranks to bone skills as much as you possibly can when it comes to your masterwork. Right now, as it sits, we're at level 30 Bone Spear. And, you know, obviously that could definitely be higher. You know, we can get a couple ranks right here. We can get another rank right here. You know, we can get another rank right here. I mean, there's, you know, over here we could get 2 more ranks. So we could definitely go higher with our level of Bone Spear. But at least try to masterwork it one time. And then, you know, if you get lucky, hit it that second or third time. When it comes to the weapon, we're going to go with Doombringer. You know, it's awesome for the build. All stats, maximum life. We're an overpowered build. We get a ton of damage from the maximum life. And this gives us a huge chunk. You can see I hit the masterwork on that twice. Almost 70% right there. So, you know, try to masterwork that maximum life up if you can. Inside of the sockets, right here in the weapon, you're going to want to throw the critical strike damage. Then you'll get the intelligence right here in the pants. Over into our amulet, we're going to go with the sacrificial aspect. You can see right there your sacrifice bonuses are increased by 77%. That's giving us a nice boost. And then you want to try to get what I have on the amulet. You want to try to get percent intelligence, ranks to coalesced blood, and evulsion. That's all damage for the build. And then right there for the tempers, I would go with the soul rift duration for sure. And then, you know, I chose to go with the damage while fortified. I feel with my setup, that's where I'm going to get the most damage. In the socket, you want to get the one that gives you, while you have 3 or more growth and decay witch powers equipped, we get 8% to our primary core stat and 10% maximum life. And we get unhindered, which is really nice. Right here into our first ring, you're going to want to get intelligence, maximum life, and attack speed, just like I have right there. You want to get the lucky hit up to a 15% chance to restore your primary resource. That's one of the ways we keep our resource topped off at all times. And then go with blood overpower damage, or you could go with critical strike damage right there. And then for the aspect right there, we want to go with the adorned aspect. You're going to see right there, whenever your blood skills overpower, you gain 55% attack speed for 4 seconds. I mean, this build is just like a machine gun. We're just spitting out the bone spears like crazy fast. So it's, you know, overall making it to where we're doing tons and tons of damage. In the socket right there, you're going to throw the one that gives you the 15% increased overpower damage, the hexed enemies. Into our second ring, we're going to go with the Ring of Starless Skies. You know, this ring is just great for the build. Gives us a ton of attack speed, base crit chance, lucky hit chance, and then ranks to core skills. So we're boosting up our Bone Spear. And then right there, spending primary resource reduces our resource cost. And at the same time, it gives us up to a 50% multiplier, which with this build, we attack so fast, it's always up. So this ring just synergizes with the build really well. And then right there inside of the socket, you're going to go with the common growth and decay witch powers are 35% more potent. Down here into the focus, you're going to want to go with intelligence, maximum life, and then damage. And then you can get the chance for Bone Spear projectiles to cast twice. Now, really quickly, I didn't talk about it in the helmet up here, but this also has chance for Bone Spear projectiles to cast twice. The second cast of the, you know, Bone Spear projectiles doesn't do damage like the first cast does, so we don't really focus on that. I mean, it's okay to have, but it's not a priority. Also, you want to temper the critical strike damage down here. And then we're going to use the Grasping Veins aspect. Try to get the highest roll that you can. We get 25% base crit with this. And then, you know, we deal 50% multiplicative bonus critical strike damage to enemies for 6 seconds. And that's always up. And as you can see right here, I'll go ahead and show you guys the stats if you want to check them out. You know, right now we have 63% attack speed, not including our aspect. We have 82.9% critical strike chance. So we're actually overcapped on that, because we always have our Grasping Veins aspect up as well. You know, almost 3,200 critical strike damage, 11k overpower damage. As for the Mercenaries, we're going to go with right here. Run this over. We're going to grab Ground Slam. Right here, 15 to all resistances. Run that down here to Inspiration. Right here for a reinforcement, we're going to go with the Variana, basically giving us a little bit of attack speed. Now we'll briefly cover the skill tree. Up top, you got to put 2 points, put them into Reap. And then right here, obviously in the core skills, we're going to max out Bone Spear. Run that back to Supernatural so we get the overpower damage and the percent life back after overpowering. Right here into Hewed Flesh, back into Imperfectly Balanced for damage. Next up right here, put 1 into Necrotic Fortitude. And then right here, we're going to go ahead and put 2 points into Titanfall. Right here, get 1 into Bone Prison. Run that back into Enhanced Bone Prison. 1 point into Grim Harvest. And then right here, Fueled by Death for more damage. Got into our Curses, 3 points into Amplify Damage. Right here, we're going to go into Decrepify and run that back to Aberrant. Now with the runes, we get Horrid Decrepify, but right here, we go into Aberrant because we also get that while it's being casted with our runes. We're going to come down here. Right here, we're going to go ahead and throw 3 points into Gruesome Mending. This is giving us more healing overall and, more heal that we get back. So we're generating that 10% life that we lose with every cast. We're also getting it back at the same time. Right here into Coalesce Blood, we max that out. Max out Tides of Blood for damage. Right here, 1 into Corpse Tendrils and run it back to Blighted Corpse Tendrils so that we're making the Blood Orbs. Right here, 1 into Necrotic Carapace. Right here, we're going to max out Reaper's Pursuit for damage. We get damage for every darkness skill like I had talked about, and we have 3 of them on our action bar. Right here, we're going to go into Serration, run that down into Compound Fracture. Go ahead and max that out. Max out Avulsion. We get a ton of damage right here. Into our ultimate skill, over here, we're going to max out Finality for damage. We're going to max out Memento Mori for, more from our sacrifices. Right here, go ahead and max out Soul Rift. Run that over to Prime Soul Rift. We get damage. We get Barrier. We make enemies vulnerable. Soul Rift does a lot of good things for us overall. And then down here for our key passive, we're going to go with Rathima's Vigor, and the main reason that we go with that, obviously, is we get 120% multiplicative increase over power damage, and we're always overpowering with the build. Now we'll go ahead and jump into the Paragon board. Really quick, there will be a link for this build over on Mobiletics in the description. If you'd like to check it out that way. In the starter board, we're going to go ahead and throw in Amplify. Now, definitely want to get your glyphs at least to level 45. Once you get them up to 45, you get the bigger radius, and then, I have a few of mine to 100. And the other ones are close. Obviously, you want to get your glyphs leveled up as far as you possibly can for damage. Right here, like I said, we throw Amplify. Grab all this in this area. We're going to come over here and get, more life. Anywhere on the Paragon board that we can get damage or life, we always want to take it. The next board we come into is going to be the Bone Graft board. Like I said before, damage and life we get anywhere that we can. In this board, we're going to throw Corporeal. We get a lot of damage from this. And we're going to go over here, take Splinter, and then... Shaper of Bone. Right here, we're going to go ahead and go with Erudite as well. The next board will be Blood Begets Blood. Blood Orbs grant us 10% multiplicative increased damage, up to a 50% multiplier. And, with our Corpse Tendrils, we make the Blood Orbs, and we're constantly getting a nice damage boost from that. In this board, go ahead and throw in Essence. We get a ton of critical strike damage from this. And then all around here, you want to take like this blood damage. Grab, Blood Empowered right here. Aggression. Over here, we're going to grab Vampiric. Recuperate. Down here, Blood Drinker. Next board will be Frailty. We get a ton of damage against cursed enemies. Right here, we're going to throw in Dominate for a bunch of overpower damage. Grab Eradicate right here. Preservation. Relentless. And the final board that we will come into is going to be the Bloodbath board. Obviously, we take this, we get a ton more damage right here. In this board, go ahead and throw in Sacrificial. Get a ton of damage from this. Grab Remedy. Hardened. Powerhouse, and then over here Thick Hide. Now I'm level 249. Obviously the Paragon goes up to 300. If you guys are wondering where to put more points, obviously you want to take any damage more that you can get. Like next up I'll be taking like this Willpower right here. With the build, Willpower turns into more overpower damage, and then like where's it at? Let's see, over here there's some more maximum life. So there's a lot of stuff that you can still get with the other points, like the other 51 points. Right now, there will be tier 120 Pit gameplay if you want to go ahead and check that out. Hopefully this guide has been helpful, and if it has, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it helps my channel grow. Anyways, thanks for watching.